Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. This video is going to be looking at the scenes that have changed in regards to the film Rita, Sue and Bob 2, which was filmed in Bradford, something a little bit different, and I hope you enjoy it. So, bawdy and boisterous, Rita, Sue and Bob 2 is one of the best British comedies of the 1980s and a highlight of Alan Clark's formidable career. Would the film's infamous trio recognise Yorkshire locations today? And, well, would you as well watching this? I'm sure most of you who have seen the film would agree that the locations are everything in Rita, Sue and Bob 2. The setting is significant because Bradford, specifically the Buttershaw council estate, is where the playwright Andrea Dunbar, who adapted Clark's film for two of her own plays, lived and died. Clark shot the film about two schoolgirls who had a fling with a married man entirely on location in most run-down parts of West Yorkshire. That was 30 years ago, and since then some locations have been demolished, others remain but are barely recognisable, and if you take a virtual stroll down the same streets today, this is what you will see, for better or worse. So the first location we're looking at is the Beacon pub, which was situated in the Buttershaw estate, and during the opening credits, accompanied by glorious 1980s slap bass, Clark's camera parachutes down onto the Beacon pub in Buttershaw, Bradford. Sue's dad stumbles out into the daylight, drunk as a skunk. The pub appears tired and run down in the film, much like Sue's dad. And now, well, the pub, as it stands, is less of a beacon than a burnt-out light. Its sign that once read fine ales has faded into oblivion, grass has reclaimed the path that Sue's dad trots down, and yet the West Yorkshire pub, which has been standing since 1969, is still standing at the moment should you choose to take a tour of the movie locations in real life. However, plans have been submitted at the moment for 40 flats on the site due to the pub's closure. Now, sadly, in 1990, at this very pub, 3 years after Rita, Sue and Bob 2 was made, Andrea Dunbar died of a brain hemorrhage at the age of 29. Now, the next location we'll be looking at is Bob's house in the suburbs. Bob's house is in the spotless suburbs of Baildon. It's mere roads away from Baildon Moor, where he drives Rita and Sue, his teenage babysitters, at night in order to with them. Compared to where the girls live, it's five-star fancy, with its double-glazed windows and Lego lawn. Not much has changed since then, though you suspect its movie credentials have boosted its value somewhat. The house appeared on Rightmove in 2012, with Then and Now pictures declaring this is your one opportunity to grab a piece of film for yourself. So clearly they envisage their buyers as beard-stroking cinephiles keen to discuss the kinetic camera work of Alan Clark. Now, in this picture we can see Sue walking through the estate in Bradford. The majority of the film, as already mentioned, was shot in and around Buttershaw, an area of Bradford consisting of 1940s council housing. The blocks of flats that appear in the film have since been bulldozed and replaced with shiny suburban homes, with most of the area now unrecognisable. However, eagle-eyed viewers can spot some buildings that appear in the film, like the one above in Edison Close in the background, and steps away from the biker's house where Rita lives. Now, that house on the right, out of frame, was replaced too, as part of a large-scale gentrification of Buttershaw, technical word, once at Bradford's toughest housing estate. Now the lawns are edged, the roads are swept, and there's not a spray paint wielding biker in sight. Now the next scene we're looking at is the Lunar Radio Cars, as it was known in the film, and it was a local taxi firm where Sue had a part-time job. It's also where she met Aslam, the boy who Sue sees when things go south with Bob. Just off Leeds Road in Bradford, it had a basic setup, a booth, a bench, and a couple of phones. Now, Google Street View reveals that in 2008, the same site was called Prime Travel and Tours, and from 2012 onwards, it became a travel money exchange. What is clear is that it's come a long way since its days as a ramshackle taxi firm with a sign that looks like it was hand-painted on cardboard. Now, the next scene we look at here is the Bronte Parsonage Museum in Haworth, West Yorkshire, and it was on the girls' school trip that Sue was confronted by another girl about her relationship with Bob. The explosion of drama echoes down the quaint cobbled street, lined with tea houses and tiny gift shops. On the same street today, you suspect that mouthy girls would turn just as many heads. The lane is just a twee. Whatever one of them is, please do put that in the comments. I'm unfamiliar with that. With 10 times as many gift shops and old man's pubs. And the same old school phone box that's had a lick of paint. Then and now, it seems like worlds apart from Dunbar's Buttershaw. Now, in this next picture, you can see Sue and Aslam walk on the green. And when Sue starts seeing Aslam, they stroll down Woodhead Road in Bradford with Aslam's sister and child. As they walk, filmed in one of Clark's trademark mobile shots, you can see a church spire on the horizon line beyond the green. The same spire dominates today. The green expanse, however, is now partially home to a large community centre, itself a stone's throw from the University of Bradford. And lastly in this video, we look at Aslam's house, and in another trademark Clark shot, the camera shows Rita and Aslam to his front door, filming their backs as if they were stalking them from behind. In a way, the street looks older now despite doors and walls being repainted. There's grass growing through the brickwork, and the building at the end of the street is visibly weathered. The thing that stands out most, the cars. They're not as cool now. That's the main thing you learn when revisiting Rita, Sue and Bob 2, that the 80s was a great decade for cars, and for Alan Clark movies, obviously. So there we go, that is the end of another video. Apologies for a few slight pauses in there. Obviously a bit tongue-tied every now and again. As regular viewers will know, that's me. So anyway, do hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe. Also thank you to the Facebook groups, which again are Bradford Back in Time, Bradford Memories, and lastly Bradford Memories. Until the next video, take care of yourselves and goodbye.